Now, back to AB Sports Conversation with Anthony Carlo and Benzino the Hero.
Something settled for you folks. This is AB Conversation, low level Penta.
We gotta get pumped.
Nah,
That was nice and calm.
Something settled. Quiet before the storm.
I know. I like that. I like that one. That was a new one Ben pulled out of the hat today.
Pulled out the hat.
Pulled out of up the sleeve. He had another trick, and he pulled it out, and we got another trick with the NFL free agents.
NFL, wow, the NFL's back in news.
Yeah, could you imagine? NFL now? But, it's true. NFL's back in the news.
Your team's championships are made in the offseason as well.
That is probably the smartest thing I have heard all day.
All day.
All day long.
Championships are made.
All day long, that was the smartest thing I heard.
In the offseason.
There we go. Benzino with the words of wisdom.
NFL free agency will begin. Will begin. The NFL free agency will begin Tuesday, 4 Eastern, and that means teams can sign free agents. A player is no longer a part of that team. They have free will to go anywhere they want in the NFL.
Correct. That's what free agency means.
Yes.
So we have some free agents, and I think the most important part of the team we may want to start with is the QB,
the quarterback,
and we got some QB free agents.
You want to name me one? Wow.
That was a.
Excuse you.
My apologies. I had a big lunch.
What'd you have?
Oh man, I was at my internship, so they had some sandwiches laying around.
Ooh.
So I decided to help myself to 4. And
completely free of charge.
And because you know what it is, when you see free food, it hungers you more.
And it tastes better.
Yes.
Yes.
Do you see what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That I could be not hungry, but when there's free food, you get hungry.
Yes.
And it tastes better. So I 1 turned into 2, and 2 turned into 4.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So it was good.
Quarterback positions for the NFL free agency. One of the marquee names in the free agency is Vick, former quarterback of the Philadelphia Eagles.
So does he have any juice left in those legs?
Yes.
Yes? Okay.
Even though he's coming off injuries, will Michael Vick ever be healthy for one season? The full 16-game slate, plus a playoff if you really want Michael Vick to be effective, we don't know. But Michael Vick can still throw the ball. He's been accurate over the past couple of years, and he can still run a little bit. He's still a threat with his feet.
Coming into this show, thinking the New York Jets would be taking a look at Michael Vick did not make me happy.
Why?
But now, as I sit here and I think about it, Michael Vick might be the best thing that can happen to the Jets. The fact that he is older and you can't necessarily run him out there as much as he's normally used to in his prime, barring he would not be upset with platooning a little bit, it could work because you'd have a safety net in case Geno can't get it done.
Yes.
You'd have a safety net to try and let Geno blossom, and you'd have a nice little combo of Geno and Vic, a veteran and a youngster, to try and get the Jets some wins.
They both play the same type of system, so that wouldn't be a problem in the playbook as well.
Exactly.
Well,
they're both runners.
Michael Vick, Mr. Adrian Peterson, trying to recruit Michael Vick to the Vikings.
That's true.
I like that fit for Michael Vick. A young team trying to overcome the hurdle. Adrian Peterson, the leader, the veteran, the face of the franchise, says, yo, come on, Mike Vick. Come on, make your magic. We want Mike Vick. I want Mike Vick.
Right, and now Josh Freeman's a free agent as well.
Former Vikings quarterback.
Right. So, hey, you know what? Peterson might be, if he gets Vic to go there, it might be a good home for him.
We talked about the Jets before because Geno Smith he's still a rookie, entering his second year, so
right.
There might be questions about him.
Exactly. People have questions. He's been so inconsistent.
I like Josh McCown from the Chicago Bears to go to the New York Jets organization.
Is that who you like?
Josh McCown, backup quarterback for the Chicago Bears, but Jay Cutler did get injured this year. When Josh McCown was inserted into the starting position, they had a 6-game winning streak.
Yeah, and he averaged 228 games throwing 228 yards per game.
That man,
that's pretty damn good if you ask me.
I like that, and I would like to see that in New York. Let the wings fly.
You know what? That's like bringing in, to me, if the Jets can go with that tactic of bringing in somebody who can possibly be a safety net for Geno. I mean, there's a couple of ways you look at it. You either let Geno blossom and you play him out again, and you either go all or nothing, he does well and turns into a good quarterback like I think he will, or he plummets, that's one way to go about it. Or you can go for a McCown, you can go for a Vic to try and complement Smith and try and start them equally.
Yes. They have a fighting chance to
And see if
be a
anybody
starter.
wins the job. Put a little fire under Geno Smith's butt to say, you don't throw well, you don't play well.
You get replaced.
Me, Josh McCown, I'm going to take your job. Me, Michael Vick, I'm going to take your job.
Nice to meet you.
Wouldn't want to be you.
Wouldn't want to be you. Running backs. Can we go into running
Yeah,
backs?
go ahead. Move into running backs.
Notable running back free agents in this free agency. Ben Tate, former Texans. Darren Sproles, former Saints. Noshawn Moreno, former Broncos. Maurice Jones-Drew, MJD, former Jacksonville Jaguar. And Darren McFadden of the Oakland Raiders, plus Rashad Jennings,
Yeah, Rashad Jennings
another
as
running
well.
back from Oakland Raiders.
Andre Brown. Did you mention him?
Andre Brown, the Giants?
Giants
He's a
running
free
back.
agent?
Yes.
Wow.
Andre Brown. LeGarrette Blount.
Well, Garrett Blunt. Who do you like out of this running back class?
Huh?
Who do you like?
Who do I like? If I had to rank them, you want me to rank them?
Just a player that.
I'll say who I like.
Yeah. Who would you want on your team?
Oh man, I would probably go. Well, first of all, I want Noshawn Moreno on my team.
Noshawn
because
Moreno.
Noshawn Moreno is probably going to have too high of a price tag for the Giants, which is my team. And God knows I'd want a running back like him to try and help us out. Even though Andre Brown was not terrible.
Andre Brown was not terrible.
By
He
any
did have
means.
his fumbles, but
Right, by any means he wasn't terrible, but the Giants running backs went through a lot of injury problems
Yes.
as well. But who I like, I would probably, let's take Noshawn out of it because I don't think that's possible for the Giants. I would definitely, hey look, Ben Tate averaged 55 yards rushing per game.
and coming off backup for Arian Foster.
Exactly, backing up. So I would not hate him. If I had to choose, my favorite would probably be Rashad Jennings.
Rashad Jennings.
Nearly 50 a game, rushing a game. I like Rashad Jennings.
Rashad Jennings solid. He did come on because Darren McFadden was injured this year.
Right.
So Rashad Jennings doing what he had to do. I did pick him up on my fantasy team because Darren McFadden was injured, so I need a running back. So Rashad Jennings, who is this guy? Let me see how he did, and he did well.
Correct.
So I'd like to have Rashad Jennings as well. That's a good fit.
Yeah.
Darren Sproles is interesting because Darren Sproles is a little man.
He
That
is a-
man causes problems.
He does cause problems.
Coming from the New Orleans Saints, a pass-happy offense, he was a threat because he caught the ball out the backfield and he can catch. Line up as a wide receiver and catch. A dream scenario for Darren Sproles would be the Patriots or Peyton Manning, pass-happy offenses.
You know, can I erase everything I just said?
Okay.
I would. My pick above all of them is LeGarrette Blount.
Well, Garrett Blunt.
Yes,
Le
LeGarrette
Gizzle?
Blount, because LeGarrette Blount, we saw what he did towards the end of the season. Everybody was expecting Tom Brady to unleash, and in the postseason, LeGarrette Blount carried a lot of the load. If you remember correctly, it was the
It was the game before the Patriots.
the game. It was the game. It was the
Chiefs? No.
it was the division game
Who they play?
for the
Chiefs?
division. It was the division game where LeGarrette Blount went off.
Colts.
Yes.
Colts.
Yes, that was the game. Andrew Luck threw some interceptions. Tom Brady didn't have as huge of a game because LeGarrette Blount ran for many, many, many yards.
Yes.
So I like LeGarrette Blount out of the whole pack. Probably is my best. Him or Rashad Jennings would be my two favorite.
I like that. Okay, respectable. Off to the wide receivers we go. Notable wide receiver free agents. We have Eric Decker, Hakeem Nicks, Golden Tate, James Jones, Kenny Britt, Dexter McCluster is also in that class, and other wide receivers.
Julian Edelman.
Julian Edelman from the
Yeah,
Patriots.
Julian Edelman. Hakeem Nicks.
I don't know about that guy.
Where's this man going to wind up because of his potential?
Hakeem Nicks, he has to reprove himself. Last year,
I agree.
terrible,
Absolutely.
abysmal.
No touchdowns.
It wasn't good for Hakeem Nicks. Coming
No.
off productive years before that, you thought Hakeem was going to stay on that road.
Yeah.
No, he fell off. As your past record shows, he knows how to produce at the wide receiver position.
Yeah. 2011 season. I'm sorry, not 2011 season. 2012. Wait a second. 2012 to 2013.
He did well. It was him and
And-
Victor.
Yeah, and he exactly. But what does that mean moving forward? Can you go based on that season? Is he that proven where you can just discount what he did this past season?
Hakeem Nicks in his camp say he would agree to a 1-year deal to reprove himself and then get his money the next year. So
Right.
if Hakeem Nicks can get, I don't know, $8 million out of the team for 1 year, then go away from that team and get more money, more power to him. But at the end of the day, you get paid for what you do on the field.
That's a good point. And there was rumors that the Giants' crosstown rivals were looking at him.
Really?
And the New York Jets.
That'll be interesting.
That would be it. I mean, they need a receiver.
Yeah,
I mean,
they cut Santonio
Yeah.
Holmes today as well.
exactly. So they need somebody.
The Jets might, well, not a fit. If the Jets can get Kenny Britt, that would be good. The former Rutgers players, New Jersey,
Right.
Meadowlands,
Right.
where do they play? Piscataway? No, Meadowlands, right? No, East Rutherford.
East Rutherford.
Piscataway is where Rutgers play.
Yes.
But Kenny Britt has off the field issues. Teams do not want to deal with a player with off the field issues. In Tennessee, he basically gave up on the team. He didn't really play this year.
Mm-hmm.
So, and he has talent and he's young.
I'm not hating. I agree with you. I agree with you completely. I'm not hating. I'm not hating Anquan Bolden.
He stayed.
if,
Yep.
if I'm team, if I'm the I'm sorry, if he was in the market still
Okay.
as a free agent, I would not be hating taking on Anquan Bolden.
Yeah, because Anquan Bolden's a veteran. He knows what to do, right?
Absolutely, yeah. Because now, but his age might go against him a little bit.
That's why players like that, older players in the league, they get a 2-year deal, a 1-year deal. See how they do with their team because of their age.
Exactly. The Golden Tate,
Seahawks.
Seahawks.
He wants a hometown discount. He said, "Guys, we won a Super Bowl. I produced, but since I produced and I got my ring, I'll come back for cheaper because I want another ring." It's all about rings with Golden Tate as well.
And
Money does not.
That's a good sign.
Money not an issue for him.
Absolutely. Eric Decker would be a pickup for anybody.
He wants money.
He wants money, but he deserves money.
I don't know.
He had 80 yards a game. He received for 80. He had
Over 1,000 yards this year.
80 average of 80 receiving yards per game for the Broncos, and the Broncos receiving set was a machine. I mean, between Julius Thomas and
Demaryius Thomas.
Demaryius Thomas. But out of the receivers, Julius Thomas and Wes Welker, and it was a set of everybody doing their respective. Peyton Manning had a lot of options.
Yes.
So but that's what made it. Somebody might say he didn't play on a team where he was isolated because they're not going to key in on.
Because you have
Eric
all those
Decker.
other people to key on.
Exactly, and Eric Decker wasn't the most feared receiver on that team.
Not at all.
No. So that's why possibly he had a big year. But we know in his past that he is a solid receiver.
He's solid. He's a solid 2 receiver.
Exactly.
Not a 1.
Exactly.
Solid
He's
2.
a solid complementary receiver, which I wouldn't hate picking up. He might be asking for a little too much, though.
I agree. Defensive side of the ball, we're going to start with the safeties and the cornerbacks. Jarius Byrd, T.J. Ward, Dante Hittner-Whitner, and Antoine Patea, all free agents. Jarius Byrd, cream of the crop. For all the free agents. But Jarius Byrd is the cream of the crop. People want Jarius Byrd. He's a young, hard-hitting safety. 22 interceptions so far in his career. He wants out of Buffalo. So teams, get your paychecks open. Open your wallets because that man wants money.
Lick the pen, get it ready to write.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure that your bank account isn't what do you call it? What
Luxury
bounced. Make sure it hasn't bounced.
Balanced or bounce?
What does it mean when you have no more money left?
You're broke.
Whatever it's called. Make sure it's not. Make sure you have money in the bank.
Yes. T.J. Ward's also a hot commodity, another young safety. Playing for the Cleveland Browns last year.
Right.
Nobody wants to play for Cleveland Browns. They're a bad team, bad organization.
But they're looking for players this year.
Yes.
They're just about every free agent. They have their nose in a lot of free agents.
That's good for a team like that, showing their fans the dog
pound. Yeah. I remember you said that one of the first shows, the dog pound.
So they're trying to get their fans happy, excited
Yes.
for free agency, and that's what organizations like to do. They open their wallets to get their fans happy, and also for themselves have a winning product on the field. That's the ultimate goal of free agency.
Absolutely.
Aqib
Talib.
Aqib Talib,
Aqib Talib, yes, he is a free agent,
a hot commodity as well.
and he was excellent last year for the Patriots.
Excellent.
Aqib Talib. I can't remember Who was being interviewed? It was somebody from the Combine, I believe, that did not know who Aqib Talib was.
Well, you better know.
Now, I can understand somebody who doesn't know that just off the street, even if they claim to be a football fan, because, sometimes,
There's
whatever.
32 teams. There's a lot of stuff in
Right.
the know.
But Aqib Talib is not the most popular out of anybody in the
Yes.
NFL. But a football player in the Combine, I would expect them to know who Aqib Talib was.
Was it at the cornerback position or?
I believe it was. I
Wow.
believe it was. I want to say it
Aqib
was.
Talib's one of the top corners in the league. He did well for the Patriots this year. He did lock up Jimmy Graham notoriously. That was one of his main marquee games.
Who was franchise tagged by the Saints
Yes, he did. He didn't like that. Jimmy Graham, he wanted to get paid
or by as a receiver.
as a wide receiver
Yeah.
because he had 67% of the snaps lined up as wide receiver.
Set up out of the slot. He set up in the wide receiver
It's a
slot.
$5 million difference being franchise tagged as a tight end instead of wide receiver. Definition of the week: franchise tag is when a team that's your marquee player,
Sports definition of the week.
you get franchise tag. It's when the team says it's a 1-year deal and it's the average amount of salary of the 5 top players in the league.
There you go.
That's what it means when you're franchise tag.
So Benzino provided the sports definition of our week.
Yes. Who else is a hot commodity? Altron Vernon. You heard of that guy?
Altron Vernon, yes.
Tennessee Titans, young cornerback. He hasn't missed a game so far in his career, and he's productive. Coming out of Tennessee, there was a cornerback named Colton Finnegan,
Yes.
top-rated cornerback at that time. So being a rookie, a sophomore, learning from a veteran
Yes.
helps your career. And now he's a free agent. He's trying to make his move.
Absolutely.
What else do we have? Carlos Dansby is a free agent for the linebackers. Michael Johnson, Cincinnati's defensive end. He's a hot commodity.
Yes.
I like that word. Hot commodity. It means you're buzzing.
Yeah, that's
Hot
a new word
commodity.
for you.
I don't know.
I'm using a new word today.
I'm using it many times. But Michael Bennett. Michael Bennett actually re-signed, agreed to principles with the Seattle Seahawks. $28 million, I believe, for 4 years. Don't
Don't quote him.
Don't quote me.
Exactly, otherwise he'll sue you.
don't quote me like a used car salesman. Show me the car facts.
Show me the.
Justin Tuck, New York Giants, is a
Yes,
free agent.
and
I don't know what they're going to do with him.
I mean, he's breaking down a bit. You know,
Yes.
he's getting older. Can you rely on him for? I believe you could rely on him for another year.
He's a solid leader in the organization. If
Oh,
I was the Giants, I'd have to
absolutely.
have Justin Tuck back in the organization, in the locker room.
I know, but they don't. They passed up on him.
They did?
Well, no, they didn't pass up on him, but I feel like they'll pass up on him.
I don't think so. I think
That's-
Justin Tuck will remain a Giant. Will
All right.
resign.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
In other football news, all free agency, we have a retirement of Rashard Mendenhall.
Yes,
Very
Rashard.
surprising, out of the blue.
26 years young.
26 years young.
NFL career of 6 years.
Mhm.
Rashad Mendenhall. My prerogative of it was he's tired of football. What do you think?
Rashard Mendenhall, good career, solid. As a running back, you have a small career. Your legs give out by the time you're 28. You're lucky if you're a running back and you're 30 years old in the NFL. Rashard Mendenhall called it quits today. He has a passion for football, don't get me wrong. But Rashard Mendenhall did not like the entertainment aspect of football.
He didn't even like to feel like he was always working. That's what he said. Always on the job.
Really?
Well, the entertainment part of it is you can't. Sometimes you walk out of your house and you can't walk down the street without being bombarded with people.
So
Correct.
Anthony's saying him being in the public eye, he just wanted to be in the eye, not the public eye.
I think that one thing that he said quotes it perfectly. I didn't mind fading to black. Having people say years from now, hey, what happened to that dude
Rashard Mendenhall.
Rashard Mendenhall? Where did he go? He used to be good. What happened to him? He said he didn't mind that. So what does that tell you? He wants to slip away.
He just wants to live a normal life.
Yeah.
As a football player, you work all through Pee-wee football, Pop Warner,
Yeah.
middle school, high school, college,
Yes.
to get to the goal of the NFL. That's the ultimate goal of a football player, to
Right.
play in the NFL. He lived the life of an NFL player.
And he made it to 2 Super Bowls.
He saw the glitz and glamour.
Yeah.
I guess he didn't like it anymore. Or it wasn't all cracked up to be.
I think that he experienced enough of what he wanted to experience, and that for some people for some athletes means that they want to do. Every athlete comes to the point where they want to move on and do other things.
Yes.
For him, it came earlier on in his career.
Rashad Jennings. Oh, wow.
Yeah, I got you saying Rashad Jennings.
Rashad Mendenhall.
Too many Rashads. Start changing your names in the NFL. No more Rashads.
Rashad Mendenhall, being a running back, he preserved his body. I like that. A player knowing I could still go, but in the long run, I want to be walking. I want to remember who my grandkids are.
Right.
So doing that, I applaud Rashad Mendenhall for doing that.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the NFL for you?
That's the NFL. I applaud our segment, especially yours, to the T. You as you always do, NFL.
Teamwork make the dream work, though, Ant. You did a good job as well.
I like that. Thank you very much, and I'm going to thank everybody for continuing to tune in, because next we're going to be breaking down the much awaited, anticipated
MAC championship
anticipated. I sound like Will Clyde Frazier right now, just rhyming along.
All right.
The much awaited, anticipated pre-game look at the Jaspers and Gales, which I believe is tipping, has tipped off. It has tipped off. So
listen here.
yeah, listen here while you got ESPN on, because we're not going away for
Your
a couple.
background story. Lower your commentary. Lower the
Yeah.
TV. Listen to AB Conversation.
There you
So stay tuned. Come back. Or else.
go. Or else.